steps out on these New York City streets. You know what New York tastes like, what it feels like, what it look like. Hot 97 every Monday night from 12 to 2 p.m.
The music we can catch on that.
All type of music. That's why it's Fly Trap Radio.
Yeah.
You know, I just wanna put everything in a pot, mix it up, like I always do, big gumbo, and give it back to the culture.
Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
Sir, I like the hoodie.
Thank you. I got one for you.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got one.
Too much love, man. I just want to give a big shout out to Luka Brazi Alexis Major. They came through. Shouts out to y'all.
It's a GWA. It's a Gumbo World Takeover.
It's a Gumbo World Takeover.
Yes, it's a Gumbo World Order.
And we ain't talking New Orleans.
No way.
We ain't talking New Orleans.
No, sir.
So what we talking? Where
talking
did
about
this
the best
start?
cannabis in the world.
Okay.
As of right now, on the street of New York, of Thailand, a little bit everywhere.
Okay. Because you know people nowadays, they be putting their weed in the bag, putting whatever name they want on it.
Yeah.
So tell the people that ain't get a chance to experience gumbo, what's the experience? Because it's more of like a lifestyle, I would feel.
You can give it to them.
You know, Gumbo is a lifestyle brand. However, our cannabis has crazy quality control. Every time that you come in contact with real gumbo, you're going to have an amazing experience. I have a friend that is in a wheelchair and has a lot of pain.
Right.
And he was being re-rocked. He thought he was supporting us, and he was buying from someone that wasn't, didn't have the real thing. And
Catfish.
he was catfished.
Right.
And we found out about it. Me and him were talking, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I tried your stuff. It's good." And I was like, "Good? What do you mean good? It wasn't great?" He was like, "Nah, it's good." I was like, "You didn't have the real thing. Who'd you get it from?" He said where he got it. I said, "No, that's not real." So I sent him over the real thing.
Right.
He stayed in the house for 5 days.
He said he's being very selfish right now.
He said he has pain-free, like
he said he sleeps so good at night.
Yeah.
He just wanted to thank us, and he was dead serious.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yo, Luka, I'm trying to smoke the whole pound."
Wow. Let me give a shout out to that. Because that's a real thing right there. Because, the medical industry, I know we on YouTube, I don't want to get too descriptive with the words, but we know. So going a more holistic route is a way that sometimes a lot of people, we don't necessarily like to do. But you just showed right there, the weed, the gumbo, it helped him. It helped him deal with something that he wasn't able to get help with before. So,
and we're also, Alexis and I, we're creating with Gumbo brands, like tinctures,
a lot of tinctures and rubs.
A lot of back rubs for pains.
Yeah, because you have a lot of people that have a lot of pain, arthritis, things of that nature. People in wheelchairs, people in sports,
older people, and they may not want to, consume the flower. So what we've done, we've take the flower and we've abstracted it into these rubs and things of that nature, so we can, like you said, we want to educate people more on the healing process of the flower.
For sure.
It's not easy. It's not an easy process. Like my grandmother's 92, and her knees hurt her a lot. Right. She had 2 knee replacements, and I was like, she was like, I can't take those oxy things they're giving me. They make me loopy. I'm home alone,
Right.
And my grandmother's with it, like she's on top of it. So to hear her like be like that, I was like, "Gram, why don't you just let me give you an edible?" "Oh no, I don't do dope." The old people.
Right.
But I was like, "No, let's do that." And we decided, let's do creams. Let's do things that older people or people that are not in this culture will feel comfortable with, and it won't be like, they're doing drugs of their time. In their time, pot was like doing crack.
For sure. And
in their mindset.
Like you said, that's just all over the spectrum, right? So
yeah.
Grandma and myself, I'm an athlete, I do skateboarding. We go through having sore muscles,
definitely.
Bodies being beat up, toe up,
falling off
not
that
necessarily knowing how to care for it, not necessarily knowing how to do that aftercare, which may be, like you said, putting the tinctures, putting the rubs, and stretching, simple things like that. We just go skate and go home, go ride, go home. So like these things are actually very beneficial to us as well as the older. So this is all spectrums right there.
Yeah.
The evolution of weed, cannabis in New York City, New York State, to be exact, has been kind of monumental in the past few years. So how has this helped y'all into kind of envisioning where you wanted to go?
Honestly, like we've been doing our thing for a while, and we kind of took it in our own hands that we weren't going to wait for legislation and things of that nature. That's why we kind of ventured
Mm,
off into California because, cannabis for us is our life. We really live this. Luca chain smokes nonstop. He's probably tweaking right now because he can't smoke in this studio. But this is our real life. Like when we choose places to go on vacation, it'll never be Dubai. You know what I mean? Because he
right,
can't
right,
smoke
right,
there.
right.
So, like, this is an everyday thing for us, and we believe in the plant so much. I come from a background of the NFL, and seeing people in the NFL and even in the prison systems, right? When people are hurt, say they're hurt on the way in,
Mm-hmm.
right? Say they were shot on the way in, they're being treated with methadone, with oxy, with all these heavy drugs, and then being medicated on
Yeah,
top of it. So a
yeah,
lot of people even die because those if you have medication, right, to help heal your wounds, and then they're giving you heavy drugs on top of it like methadone or oxy or all these, it's eating away at the liner of your stomach.
yeah. That's true. That's so true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So being able to advocate for cannabis is so important for all of us.
It's so
mm,
imperative
Yeah.
because we're getting these kids once again off of these
Heavy opiate.
heavy opiates and this lean and these
yeah,
Percocets and this nonsense.
right.
So, we introduced to them the flower and, the gumbo and the tinctures and the gummies and the vapes and stuff so they could wing off of really the heavy drugs, bro.
Yeah, because the heavy drugs,
And,
look, these
we try to make it as cool as possible. We
right,
are the culture,
For
right.
you
sure.
know?
For sure.
But
So
the heavy drugs, right? They get the kids addicted to them, and then they can't get these drugs. So now they're getting street level drugs. So now they're getting fentanyl. And now you're getting people dying. And it's not until like these high end individuals die that people act like it's a big
concern.
they're
Right,
concerned.
right. Till
But
it
it
makes
So
happens in our
sense.
neighborhood every
every
day.
day.
Right. We got to get to them at the root, not
Yeah.
once they've already got to the spot where they so far gone.
Right.
Nobody's so far gone, but once you're in that spot, it's harder to reach.
And one thing about cannabis, it's a very preventative drug. Like
Right.
it plant. It basically, if you use cannabis or CBD or whatever your thing is, an edible, smoke, whatever, it's preventing you from stress and things of that nature that are going to take you to different ailments like brain aneurysms.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like stress kills.
for
So
sure.
the less stress that you can be, the more beneficial something is to you.
Right.
That's like the most like lowest terms I can put it at so that people can understand.
Right. Right. So now with the weed being legalized in New York, that means people they're not gonna be checking in work anymore like that, right? Did y'all hear about that?
I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean,
It's like
that's what they're saying.
for us,
Hopefully.
like we really don't focus on like what everyone else is doing, no disrespect.
Mm,
Like as far as the dispensaries and stuff like that, because everyone kicks this pro black shit, right? Like,
right.
oh, the black community, the black and Latino, do. And then when you have these grand openings and you have these things that like, we may just want to record something or do a podcast or interview somewhere and we say, okay, well, let's do it here. And then it's like they don't want the gumbos there. Why is that? So you want to rob and steal from our culture to benefit your pocket. And
Mm,
we're not on that. We're about
No, we're not
uplifting our
on that.
community. My wife and my sister Michelle Smalls and we've been giving back for the last 10 years in New York City. We just gave away $1 million worth of toys.
wow.
Kodak Black and I. and Alexis in Midtown, and 42nd Street,
Yeah, we
Times
shut down
Square.
Times Square.
Wow.
Yeah, we got two big.
I seen the coverage of that. I seen the photos.
We
of
got
that
two big
Times
tour
Square.
buses, like the double deckers,
Yeah.
and we filled them up with all toys.
Wow.
And we went to Times Square and we gave them out. And then 3 days later, on Christmas Day, the exact day, my wife, my daughter, and I, and Michelle Smalls, we went to 135th Street in Harlem and Fifth Avenue, and they called it Miracle on 135th Street. And we gave out $1 million worth of toys there.
Wow.
And the block, it was 3 blocks long. And the kids were there for 5 in the morning. We had to get a tour bus to let the kids on the bus because they were so cold. They were waiting out there for hours for these free toys and these free bicycles and these free computers and these free TVs. And I seen no artist, I seen no rapper, I seen no people from Harlem do this except me and my wife and my sister. And I want to big up Hunk too, because he did it as well with us. So Hunk basketball team, we're doing a basketball team in Harlem. Michelle Smalls and I, Kingdom, and we just got a team, Alexis and I. Alexis is so competitive and where she comes from and her brain and her family. So I just got a team. And then Kareem Reed, big shout out, that's my brother. I think he denied Jim Jones. He told him no. But 2 minutes later, he told me yes.
Okay.
So, it'd be a lot of people that's like to go with real vibes and like real people that's really doing stuff for the community. So Alexis was being funny with me and she was like, oh, you know what, Luka? I'm going to get my own team. So I said, so I guess she's getting a Poison Ivy team.
Yeah, I think I might do my own team, and I might even let Jim Jones be on my team.
Got it. See? We're good sports.
We need that. We're gonna set that up. But let's go back real quick to the toy drive, because that moment that you just described to me.
Yes.
I'm envisioning it as a child, being in the hood and seeing that first opportunity of somebody that you looked up to kind of help you and give you something. That toy that they got.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I got so emotional.
Printed in their mind. For
Alexis and
life.
I, we both cried, bro. We had a crying moment.
Wow.
That was tough.
And I think I cried at Times Square because you had a person like Kodak Black come from Broward County and come from Miami and come and give toys away in New York City. You didn't have a New York City rapper do that. Not taking anything from a New York City rapper, but how you got another artist come here, and it was just like, different folks for different strokes, but
you know what? To be fair, Kodak is the culture. Kodak
yes,
is
he
big,
is.
And Kodak has money like that.
And he loves the kids.
Some rappers don't have money like that.
He loves the culture. And the give back, like I told you downstairs, it'd be real, bro.
So how did that come about? Because that's dope that Kodak was there. Like, he reached out to y'all, or like how did that happen?
Well, Kodak, we have a great affiliation with Kodak. That's Lil Neff. That's Neff. He calls me auntie. He calls Luka Unc. We do a lot of stuff together. After we did that, we even took the kids to American Dream, and we had private time to take our personal kids on the rides and stuff like that. Like, people that it's like genuine love, we hold on to those relationships. So we have like a really good relationship with Kodak. He calls us for advice about the Quran, and about our Muslim beliefs. We just try to be transparent with the younger culture, and also lead them in the right direction. And for us, that means God. So,
and family. First and foremost.
Yeah, and family. Because, they get a bad rap from, the way that they're moving, but they're young. So sometimes they just need an older person to,
guide
them and bounce something off of them. And we're always an open door and open, phone call. We'll always answer, and we'll always give them the best advice.
Because with everything in life is structure. So we just try to give that stability to the young, to the youth, to the younger artists and our younger peers.
Most
and
definitely.
just, we don't try to like belittle them or sun them out or nothing like that. We treat them like family. So it's a better relationship. It's a better mesh. It's a better bond there.
Coming up in Harlem and the Bronx, you being there in that moment, providing guidance for so many artists that were coming to you at that time, and you still kind of bringing that to your current day with Gumbo. Like, can you speak about that? Like, kind of drawing the two together?
Yes, I can also draw the two together, and I can also separate the two as well. because you have to define things, and you have to also be very aware of the times that we are in,
Right.
because they're not like they used to be. So coming up on 145th and Broadway, there was so many artists: Ankasa, J.R. Ryder, Hal Rell, Joel Santana, Fred the Godson, God bless his
Rest in
soul.
peace.
I was the first one to take Fred the Godson, and in Virginia Slim, it was his partner, and I took both of them to Scarface, and I
Wow.
took them to Florida Mayo, and I sat them down, and and
Florida
Chubby
Maya.
Chubby Baby from 800, my brother, my childhood friend, Chubby, Fred the God, Virginia Slim, and Uncasa. I had them rapping for Scarface at Florida Mayo,
Wow.
and I had them eating
Wow.
fried duck.
Okay.
And so to transition from then to now, because like you said, I always was very influential in artists' lives and in their movement and what they were doing. Because people didn't think, like, they listened to Lil Wayne, but he wasn't hot until I said so.
Hmm.
He was hot when he was hanging on 145th with me, wearing long
Fact.
t-shirts
That's a fact.
and screaming Suwoo, you know? Like, you was outside when you came and checked 145th, and you came and check in with Luka Brazi. Because it wasn't a check-in like you were trying to like, it wasn't a gangster check-in, it was a love check-in. Like, Jay-Z and Beyonce had come up there and talk to us,
That's right. They
So,
had to.
but to transition from that, right? And me being able to use my life and my platform, anything that I did, even as selling CDs on a block, or just hustling, right? I was able to take these artists and put them in a position where they had got record deals, or they got signed, or they got seen, or they got heard, or they got exposure. So that's something that was always implemented in my life, and I always wanted to like share with others, right? And then now you got current day, you got Gumbo, you got the biggest black company, the biggest black husband and wife in the cannabis company, in the cannabis space in the
Right.
world, right?
That's honorable
Yeah.
right
That's
there.
going
That's
global,
honorable.
And we're
right?
teaching other people the business, and we're, talking to people every day that are getting social equity licenses, and, letting them know what to do. Hopefully, a
Right.
lot of them take them back to their neighborhoods and cultivate those licenses to create jobs within that
We're
area.
educating
Right.
them.
We're educating. But the one thing that is tough about Luca and where he comes from and what he does for the culture is he's such a giver.
Mm.
And sometimes it's hard.
Feel you on that.
It's hard because a lot of these kids are takers. They're taught to be takers, and he's dealt with people, I'm sure, in the past too, that were takers, or that you've done things for them and they didn't reciprocate the energy. So we try to like teach the younger people, like, not only, are we helping you, but you need to help someone else too. It can't just
Most
be about
definitely.
you,
You know,
because if you're not going to help other people, your success is only going to go but so far.
right.
When
Right.
you, because it's just like this. Listen to this. We love Moneybag Yo. Moneybag Yo is going to be a player in the rap game. You know why? Because he has Bread Gang and he is cultivating other talent.
Mm.
So his legacy is going to keep going and going and going. When you just, take your career and you don't help develop other people, and you just rob the culture and you never give back,
Right. Right.
where
Right.
where
Right.
does
Right.
that leave you? It leaves you in the situation
Gonna
you're
be
probably
dried
in
out.
or going to
Limbo,
be in.
Over.
nothing.
Yeah.
But getting back to your question, to answer it, because I didn't want to get off track. I'm sorry. Present day Gumbo, right? Biggest cannabis husband and wife in the game. Black owned. We own everything. We're not selling out. You know, we did a beautiful merge with
Fact.
Cookies. We're the first non
Ah.
rappers. We're the first non rappers that own a rap snack, Alexis and I.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gummies being one. Number two,
A party mix.
a party
You know,
mix.
party
Yeah.
And that's gonna be the Gumbo. So that's
Nice.
crazy. And at this time and moment, we just keep elevating. We keep teaching the youth and others financial freedom. We're implementing that in everything in our infrastructure and what we do. And we're just teaching the masses, and we want to keep educating people on what and who Gumbo is.
Yes.
As a whole, as a brand,
Yeah.
as an entity, as a family, as a black husband and wife, as a Latino man, for my black and brown people, and we're just gonna keep, like I said, we're gonna keep putting on for the culture because that's what we are.
Right.
And you can't leave someone like us out of this type of game because we are the game.
Right. We the culture.
And we do a lot of
That's a fact.
strategic partnerships. And when we do our strategic partnerships, we do them for various reasons. A lot of our partnerships and most of our partnerships are only in the culture to help elevate the culture. Um, I feel like other people that are coming under us and doing their own branding need to really focus on their branding, because at any point in time, if the Gumbos get a huge deal, we're taking everybody with us,
That's a fact.
you know?
And
So,
to add to and that's 100% facts. To add to what y'all saying with financial literacy and financial freedom, a lot of us, like you said, we the culture, but a lot of us run through these situations where we may go to a company and they may take our idea, or they may give us a bad contract, or they may stiff us. And like you said, us knowing that, getting that knowledge is what helps us so much. A lot of us don't really understand about getting your LLC or building your business credit. Like, a lot of us aren't really thinking about that. And if we started to focus on that at a younger age, think about what
Yeah,
would
so
be.
many members that were a part of Gumbo uh before we like really took off. Like I said, we fixed their credit.
Mm.
We helped them obtain real estate. We
Think about, we don't even really think about credit until like we get
yo,
mid
bro,
20s, you know what I'm
it's
saying?
crazy,
Like,
but like we did it for so many
Luca fixed so many
of our
people's
of
credit.
our people and our
salute
peers,
to you for
and
that too.
at the end they still turn around and bite you. So it's not like about when they're gonna if they're gonna flip. It's about when they're gonna flip.
But one thing I can say about people when they do get to that greed point, the younger people, whoever, when they get to that greed point, the one thing is they always come back and apologize because we did help fix their credit.
Yeah,
We did help them acquire real estate, and when you bite the hand that feeds you and you
Mm.
realize, oh, these people really did like elevate me. It wasn't
They
like
gotta
this is
respect
not
it.
street shit. Like really took the time to elevate me and give me knowledge that I didn't have.
Right.
How could you really like shit on that person? You can't
Can't.
really.
You can't.
You could get caught up in your feelings, but at the end of the day, you can't shit on us because we took the time out to teach you something that you didn't have, that gave you a
Right.
tool you didn't have in your toolbox.
Yeah, it's a level of respect that should always be,
Yeah, and that's the
presented.
problem. That's the problem. These kids nowadays, it's not just the lack of respect for adults and their peers like we had coming up. It's the lack of respect of themselves.
Like morals within almost, right?
Morals within,
Totally.
abusing themselves, taking these heavy drugs.
I believe, and I don't want to just put it on the kids like that, because I understand, especially, and y'all know, living in New York City, it's almost like crabs in a bucket, right? Everybody's on top of
That's
each
not
other,
right.
and we all just making a move, and we trying to just do the best we can.
survival
So
mode.
I can never fault, a youth for doing what they do, but just
But
trying
when
to
are we
give
going to
them the
change the
guidance.
narrative? When are we
Right,
going to
right.
start
We gotta change.
helping each other instead of tearing each other down?
And you see what y'all doing? Y'all changing the narrative. Because there is a gray area that I see with the youth and
Yeah.
people in, the elders. And straight up, y'all are changing the narrative by doing what y'all doing. So salute
All
to
we
y'all
can
for
do
that.
is continue doing what we're doing because we really do it. We're
Right,
not talking the talk, we're walking the walk, we're really doing it. And
right.
it saddens us sometimes that with the success that we've gotten to, we get a lot of hate from people we were friends with or know, relationships we've had for 35 years and things of
Mm.
that nature, when honestly, we'd rather do business or collaborate with them than see them act out the way that they act out in our success. But a lot of people act that way because of the guilt they feel when they had success, they didn't help anybody.
Mm.
So it's
Yeah,
also a guilty thing. When people act a way about you, it's a lot of times it's more about how they feel about themselves than it is about how they feel about you.
damn. Yeah, they projecting, right? That's
Projecting.
a fact. And we here to change that narrative though.
Definitely.
Because if we could stop it at the root, we'll all just be better, like y'all saying, help each other, be out of culture.
Because that's what we're about. We're about being symbiotic.
Right.
You know, we're about being one organism, and everyone benefits off of our organism, which is Gumbo. We want everybody to eat.
That's a fact.
You know, we want to feed the massives. So
because we don't have any competition.
Yeah, it's boring. You know,
we don't have
to
any
try to compete with one another, or we're not on that.
We're
about uplifting one another.
We're about uplifting and helping.
Everyone that we come in contact with, you know, we're gonna do two things. We're gonna smile. We're gonna give you some type of charity. We're gonna give you some money. We're gonna give you some jewels, some gems. We're gonna drop something on you where you're gonna say, "Damn, this man and woman just blessed my life with something that just made me think a different type of wavelength." Some type of positivity, some type of good energy, something is going to bounce off of us on you, because that's what we give.
That's a fact.
We give because we have. We have because we give. Therefore, we will never be without.
We're human though, and if we do something
and it doesn't
wrong,
have
we'll
to always
apologize.
be money that we give. We can give our time, our knowledge, you know, conversation, air,
and that's it right there.
Just being, you know, just a little part, a little piece of humanity. You know, we go out and we go to eat dinner or lunch or breakfast, and we'll pay for the whole restaurant. And people say, "Why do you do that?"
What restaurant y'all be at?
Why?
Where y'all at?
I bet you in your comments you'll have somebody in there that will say we paid for something, because we like to pass it forward, and we want people to take care of each other, because everyone's screaming this police and all these other things, right? But if we all took care of each other, we wouldn't need any of that.
Right.
We all need to take care of each other. If we're nicer and better to each other and collaborate instead of trying to compete.
Because what we're heavy on,
we're being a better
we're
world.
heavy on the collaboration, and we're very little on the competition. You heard that?
Heavy on collaboration, very little on competition, because
for us, collaboration beats competition.
It does.
Any day.